So welcome everyone. Like I mentioned, my name is Suzanne Wright. I am the Assistant Director of the Krista McAuliffe Center, as well as a coordinator of Massachusetts STEM Week for the MetroWest STEM Education Network. So what we will be doing today is a STEM Week information session. We will be sharing a bunch of opportunities for you to get involved during this upcoming Massachusetts STEM Week. And we'll start with a Massachusetts Teacher STEM Fair. Then we'll go on to introducing the different design challenge hosts, which are statewide initiatives, and then as well as some MetroWest STEM Education Network opportunities. So first, if you're not familiar with Massachusetts STEM Week, it takes place every year in October. This year, it will be taking place from October 21st to 25th. Although I like to say that's kind of the formal dates of Massachusetts STEM Week. Informally, we like to celebrate it throughout the entire month of October. And some of these opportunities actually carry throughout the entire school year. So don't take that week as too serious of a deadline. Also, we love to get started with STEM Week early in September, like we are now, because a lot of opportunities already have informational webinars going on. So Massachusetts STEM Week this year has a specific theme. It's called STEM Starts Now. And you can learn more about that theme on the statewide website. So I'm going to just jump over to the statewide website now. The statewide website has a landing page, and then it actually invites you to click on this calendar where you can see all of the different Massachusetts STEM Week opportunities throughout the state, organized by the different regional STEM networks. So I know for MetroWest, we've already started populating our calendar, first with all of the information sessions from our design challenge hosts, just so that you don't miss an opportunity to learn more directly from those organizations. And then for the month of October, we've got any opportunity that's already been shared with us added to the calendar as well. Some are private events and others are open to the public. This is just a nice reminder that even if you are doing something for Massachusetts STEM Week that isn't open to the public, please still report it to your regional STEM network. I'll be sharing more from the MetroWest Regional STEM Network side, how you can share those events with us, no matter if they're private or public. Like I said, I'll do that a little bit later on in the meeting, just to give time for our other presenters today. I'm now back on the MetroWest STEM Network website, though. I just want to point out we've got some buttons here on the homepage where you can learn more about the design challenges, MetroWest events and activities, and then that was the link to the statewide calendar that I had just shared. STEM Week is an opportunity for educators, members of the public, and students to all get involved. So some opportunities are more focused towards K-12 education, higher education, industry. It's a way for all of us to be celebrating STEM Week. And we also have a nice new logo. So this is my reminder that if you are sharing STEM Week opportunities on social media, to please do use the brand new logo as well as the hashtag MASS STEM Week. And feel free to tag your regional STEM network. So we are at MetroWest STEM, and we love to see what you are doing throughout STEM Week. I think that is all I would like to give for a formal introduction to STEM Week at this time, because I would love for our first presenter to get ready. We're going to hear about the Massachusetts Teacher STEM Fair, which is an opportunity happening kind of as a kickoff to STEM Week on October 19th. So I'm actually happy that they are going first. So feel welcome if you have slides to begin sharing those onto the screen, and then we will hear about the Teacher STEM Fair.
All right, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so my name is Cassandra Gonzalez. I work at Massachusetts DESE, a Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, and we're really excited to share this event which is put on as a sort of joint effort between our department and the Presidential Awards for Excellence in Math and Science Teaching, or PAMST. So we put this together with the PAMST alumni rep. The event will be held on Saturday, October 19th, so sort of like a early STEM week event, and it's at Patriot Place at the conference center, although we may be able to get into the stadium itself, which I'll talk a little bit more about. The event runs from 9 in the morning to 1 p.m. It is open to all Massachusetts educators and their families. That's sort of the target audience, is educators, although anyone is really welcome to attend. And the STEM fair will just involve a number of organizations. Oh, sorry, that's going to be on my next page. So let me go ahead and, sorry, my mouse disappeared. All right, so yes, here's an overview of the day. We will potentially have a visit to Gillette Stadium. I think weather is, that's sort of weather dependent, and maybe if there's someone at Gillette able to take us onto the field. We have an exciting keynote in the Patriots Hall of Fame Theater. We will have several exhibits set up with STEM sort of themed events. And then we may be able to have a visit to the Gillette Stadium Lighthouse as well. Our keynote speaker is Paul Reynolds. He is a local author, educator, and nonprofit director. And he's been doing a lot of work in the state to support creativity and technology education. I know he's currently teaching digital storytelling at Boston College. And we're just excited to have him speak and share some inspirational words to our educators. And now, so here are just some of the exhibitors. I really tried to get more onto the slide, but that would have gotten a little ugly and you wouldn't have been able to see all the logos anyway. These are some of the exhibitors who will be sharing activities and resources with educators and their families.
I think you're still on the first slide. Sorry.
Oh my goodness, why? Oh dear. It looks like it's, I don't understand. It looks like
now you're on sponsors.
Okay.
Or presenters.
I'm so sorry. So here was the schedule. And here was our keynote speaker. And here are our organizations. So each of the organizations will be sharing activities for all of the educators and their families to do. That was a prerequisite for hosting a free table at our event, was that a hands-on activity had to be available at the table. We're proud to have government organizations, federal organizations, museums, private partners, education tech organizations, just all kinds of groups coming and sharing resources at this event. And that is all I have in terms of slides. Oh, I will say that I don't have to keep sharing. I will just say this to you. I know there are many of the people who are presenting or representing organizations that will be attending this event. And so, like, nice to see you, and we're looking forward to seeing you at the event. If you're looking at this and saying like, hey, I didn't know about this event, I would have loved to have hosted a table, or I wish I had known earlier. I'm just going to share a link to the website, which should have the contact person for the event available. It wouldn't be me. Would be Jen Donay, our PAMST alumni rep. And so if you get into touch with her, she can add you to the list of people to reach out to next year. And you can potentially host a table at next year's event. With that said, even if you're not hosting a table, you're welcome to come and attend and interface with educators and network with other organizations. It's really just an exciting, fun event that's open to everyone. And that's all I've got. I can maybe answer a couple questions if people have them.
Yeah, definitely have time for one question, maybe two. if anybody has it and would like to unmute themselves and ask, or also just feel welcome to put it in the chat, and I'm sure we can reply directly in the chat. I know the McAuliffe Center is looking forward to presenting, so you will
Exactly.
definitely see some familiar faces if you do attend, and it seems like a great way of starting STEM Week. So thank you so much for sharing this.
And not that Suzanne and I are not interested in going to Gillette Stadium at all. It's just for the STEM fair.
Definitely.
We've
It's
been very
great. There,
excited about the location.
we get the mix of people. We've got the people who come because it's a STEM event, and we get the people who come because it's Gillette Stadium, and it's like we'll take them all.
Absolutely. All right, I am going to start sharing my screen so that I can begin introducing our Design Challenge hosts that'll be presenting today. So first, Design Challenges are an initiative that were started a few years ago. These are all organizations that have received grants to offer prepackaged and ready to implement activities during Massachusetts STEM Week. Like I alluded to before, though, many of these opportunities go well beyond STEM Week. And it's always fun to hear kind of the results of what was accomplished during them. So first, I just wanted to scroll on this page to show all of them. The only organization we don't have presenting during today's session is Kids in Tech, but I know that they have a placeholder on their website letting us know that more information can be expected soon. We will be hearing from Wade Institute for Science Education. They've got Extreme Zoo Makeover, a STEM approach to habitat design. We've got Kids in Tech. Their temporary title was STEM Goes Green, the STEM Challenge. We've got the STEM Education Center at WPI with the I Am STEM Lesson Library. Museum of Science, Engineering Plastic Filters, a Mass STEM Week Design Challenge. And PBL Works will be offering carbon busters. And so I do my best to keep this page up to date with all of the information about the design challenges and if they are offering any webinars, just to make sure that you know how to register if you are interested in participating in any of these opportunities. So with that, I would love to put the Wade Institute kind of on deck if you would like to start sharing your screen and get ready to present that opportunity to all of us.
Yes, thank you. Just give me one moment.
Absolutely. Take your time.
All right, can you see that? I'm just going to do full screen. Perfect. All right, so thank you for having us this morning. My name is Kara Doherty. I'm the Education Programs Manager with the Wade Institute for Science Education. If you're not familiar with us, we are a 501c3 nonprofit. We're based in Quincy, but we really, we don't host there. We really kind of travel around the state and do a bunch of workshops. And so we provide professional development for teachers, both formal and informal. And we participate in STEM Week every year. We create a curriculum guide, usually 4 to 7 investigation lessons for teachers with a specific STEM challenge that comes at the end, like a final design challenge. And then we actually run workshops for the teachers so that they can go through the curriculum with us as if they were students, so that they have an idea of how it will run in their classroom. And we have 2 partner logos on here. We often partner with these organizations, the Buttonwood Park Zoo, and that's actually where we're hosting our workshop this year, and then the Lloyd Center for the Environment. And so this year's challenge is actually a revision of a challenge that we did a few years ago. And so participants will research a specific animal's needs and then engineer an enrichment item for that animal and then design an updated zoo habitat that mimics a natural environment for that chosen animal. And so, like I said, we run through this with teachers, but then ultimately, of course, they would take it back and do it with their students. And so they have this kind of challenge blurb that's your local zoo wants a makeover, and as we learn more about animals' needs, we've realized our zoo's old habitats are no longer adequate, and it's up to you and your engineering team to redesign them. And so, like I said, we have some lead up activities in the curriculum guide, and so basically they prepare the students for the final challenge. And so lesson 1 is where students really consider like the various stakeholders that contribute to a zoo environment. So animal caretakers, the animals themselves, the zoo visitors, and they kind of role play like the perspectives of each. And they also look at a bunch of webcam footage and pictures of different animal enclosures, both from the past and present, to kind of talk about the pros and cons of each. And then next, they are either assigned an animal or they choose an animal, and this is where their research begins. And so they start to research the needs of that specific animal, and they talk about like how that might affect the design of their habitat in the end and their enrichment item. Lesson 3 is all about the enrichment. So this is the ways of the wild. It's all about what is enrichment, what are the different types of enrichment, and then why is it important that animals have enrichment? And then they'll actually build a model enrichment item. And this was really fun when we did this with teachers. The first time at Buttonwood Park Zoo, they got to design their prototype and then give it to the actual animals that were there and record it and take it back to their students. And it was really fun. And then the last lesson, which is the last one before the final challenge, is they create an interactive sign that's kind of would be propped outside of their renovated zoo habitat. And so they use the research from lessons 2 and 3 to create that. And so because we ran this program before, we decided to add a level 2. It's like a 2-tiered workshop now for any teachers who took the first level already and still like to come. We have teachers that come every year, and so we wanted to make sure that was still accessible to them. And so level 2 will guide the teachers and then ultimately their students through incorporating Arduino sensors, either a light or a camera, to their final habitat model. So teachers taking this portion will also get an Arduino kit to take with them so they can use it in their classroom. And this kind of just reiterates what I just shared with you. It's basically what the teachers get. So the in-person professional development session, it's 1 day. I'll share that on the next slide, the day and the location. And they get the curriculum guide, digital and paper if they come in person. We do also offer on the registration that teachers can just register for challenge only. So they get the materials, but they're not coming to the workshop. And then Massachusetts teachers are eligible for the kit. And so here's the details if you want to take a picture or if you want to use the QR code that will take you directly to the registration, our website. So you can also always Google our website or our contact information is there. But the workshop will be September 28th from 8:30 to 3:30. We'll be at the Buttonwood Park Zoo. And we do suggest the grade band. We typically every year it's upper elementary and middle, but we do always have high school teachers and younger, like K-3 that come. And so then we always have an open discussion about like, how can you kind of cater this to your grade band if you're not upper elementary and middle school. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think we have time for some questions if anybody has them. Again, would like to post them in the chat or unmute yourself and ask.
Oh, I see one in the chat. When do we need registration to register for the workshop by? So we usually don't close registration until a day or 2 before, but sometimes it closes early if we fill it. We are more than halfway full, but we're not super close to filling our in-person. So I would say sooner rather than later, just because it is about 2 weeks away, because they do fill. So I would say maybe next week, if you can. Can the challenge be done by high school? Of course, yeah. And as Suzanne mentioned before, like this is something that you can do whenever. So we have teachers that will come and do the workshop in September. And then in June, once they're done their typical curriculum, they'll send us like, oh, we just did it now and it was great. So it can be done by anyone at any time. We take any teacher. You don't even have to be public school, private school. You could be part of a museum. Anyone can sign up for this.
That's fantastic. That makes it so accessible for anyone to participate who might be interested. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
And I look
thank you.
forward to hopefully to seeing updated photos of enrichment activities that are created this year. That's great.
Yes,
I would-
we are, I'm sorry, one last thing, our social media and marketing manager, Alex, is here as well, and she's been all over our socials lately, so I'm sure she'll have a lot to share of our updated enrichment and how our day goes at the zoo, even if you want to just follow us along and see what we're doing if you can't make it.
Definitely. Yeah, everyone actually feel welcome to include your socials in the chat. And like I mentioned, make sure to tag your regional STEM network or include the hashtag Mass STEM Week so that we can keep track of all of these opportunities and the results of the design challenges. I'd love to invite PBL Works to start sharing their screen.
Good morning, everybody. If you just click on that link, it should take you right to a Nearpod, and I'll just self-pay so you can follow along. As you get that up, my name is Jason Colombino. So I work at PBL Works. We're a nonprofit based all the way out in Novato, California. But we've built up a really robust ecosystem in Massachusetts, thanks in large part to lots of support from entities like the Executive Office of Education and the 1-8 Foundation as well. To be able to build up. What we do is we train K-12 teachers as well as district and school leaders to scale up PBL for all students. And the reason why we do that, our vision is for all students, especially Black and Brown students, to engage in high quality project-based learning, to deepen their learning so that they're not just successful when we have them with us during school or their career, but also so they can give back to their communities and find some joy in their lives and their towns that they live in as well. So we have a design challenge. We've been doing this for a number of years now in Massachusetts. It is called Carbon Busters. And as an overview, this is a challenge geared towards middle school and high school students around clean energy and an energy audit. So how can we make our schools more sustainable? And there is a training registration. So teachers can register for some free webinars we have upcoming. Similar to the Wade Institute, there is an option if teachers click on that link to say, so sorry, I can't make the trainings, and they will get a follow-up email with all the materials they need, as well as some asynchronous support as well, to be able to try to make implementation as easy as possible. And the registration link, you can click on the Nearpod deck as well. So our driving question, all of our projects and experiences have driving questions. How can we redesign our school to significantly reduce carbon emissions and create a more energy efficient future? And so this experience has an individual and a team component to it, like most of our projects do. So students individually will complete components of an energy audit and redesign energy saving calculation doc. And then the team project is a redesign proposal and presentation that they can share with their school community. And they can also connect it to the Mass Clean Energy Challenge as well. So that is a local challenge where there's potential funding so that if schools want to expand and scaffold this and really take it to another level, they can submit a proposal to get funding to actually make the changes that they're proposing and finding out about to make their schools greener. And up here is our 4 stages of project development. So all of our projects start with a launch, then students build knowledge, they develop and critique to be able to create that product, and then they present at the conclusion. And we have some key project resources. So again, we have everything teachers could ever need to be able to implement this project and socialize it and make it their own. So we have a teacher facilitation guide. We have a student design journal as well. So that's individual for individual students. And we also have a team workspace that teachers can use with teams. So to capture student thinking and to make it visible, their thinking visible. So a brief overview, again, to launch, there's a call to actions and students figure out a reason why, and they get excited about what is the impact that humans have on our environment and how could we make some positive changes for that. And again, they learn about that clean energy challenge as well. And then they shift into building knowledge. So they explore human impact on the carbon cycle, and they start forming teams based on strengths to complete a class energy audit together. And then they think about room-specific energy audits and also start connecting with adult interviews, both in their school and professionals or in their professional networks that could help give some feedback and ideas on how to make it more energy efficient. And then they also connect that to the whole school as well. Then they dive into creating a product. So they have a energy savings checklist. And they also, a big part of all of our projects at PBL Works is feedback and revision. So that continuous improvement idea. So they have a gallery walk to see colleagues thinking and be able to connect to that and make their projects even better. And they pitch the idea back in practice on their projects before the final product. And schools are encouraged to host a local showcase or just with their classroom. This is a great example of a project that schools could bring to larger events, like the Applied Learning Student Showcase that 1-8 hosts every spring, or any local STEM fairs as well. So that's a super quick overview of a really awesome project that our curriculum team put together. We can't wait to see and hear what students create. Any questions, my email is right here. Please feel free to just email me. I'll get right back to you. And then also that teacher registration link. So again, teachers can register for a webinar where they'll get all their materials, or they can register and we will send all the materials and some asynchronous training for them as well. And thank you all for having us today. I really appreciate the time to be able to share this great opportunity for students.
Thank you so much. And the next upcoming webinar is September 24th.
Yes.
So for anybody checking their calendar, make sure you don't miss that. But if you do miss it, there is the asynchronous sign up and receive resource option. So thank you so much. And next, we'll have the STEM Education Center at WPI present. So if you'd like to put up your slides now.
Can I get just excuse me, just a thumbs up that you're seeing my screen? Awesome, thank you. All right, so thank you for having me today. My name is Donna Taylor, and I'm joining you from the STEM Education Center at WPI. And I'm here today to share our IM STEM IM lesson library. Just a little bit about the library. It was first developed in 2020 through funding by the Massachusetts STEM Advisory Council for Mass STEM Week. And we're very thankful that that funding has continued through 22, 23, and 24. This year, we will have a total, excuse me, of 36 lessons in our library, which is really exciting. A little bit about the lessons. The library has been created for pre-K to 7 educators. It focuses on solving problems in grade level books. All of the lessons align with Massachusetts ELA and math or science, and I'm excited to share that this year we've also added computer science or DLCS standards to some of our lessons. We've also added this year to our new lessons, a caregiver connections letter. So kind of like a family letter to go home, as well as a rubric for assessment. I also wanted to mention that all of our lessons use everyday materials like craft materials and recyclables. So things that we would expect most educators to have in their classrooms. And the lesson library is open year round. So as has been stated before, this is not something is only available to you during STEM week. It's really, we encourage you to be solving problems year round. So, and then just excited to share that since 2020, we've had more than 230 educators attending our trainings. So I'll just share a little bit about the process. So each lesson is set up as a 5-day lesson. Of course, it can be extended as teachers see necessary. But it starts by students reading a story in a book where they identify a problem in the story. They work together to brainstorm solutions to their problem. They create a plan. They create their solution. They test it. They revise their solution and make it better. And throughout that process, they're really communicating with others, again, getting feedback and making their ideas even better. I want to take just a minute and just jump and show you the library. So the library can be accessed through our professional development website. You can also register for the sessions through this site. When you click Learn More, it will take you directly to the IM STEM lesson library. I'll just mention the setup all of the lessons are listed by grade as well as by subject. Our upcoming trainings are listed here as well, so you can click here to register as well. So there's both options. Just a brief show of what the lessons look like. So I clicked on first grade here, and so we have 5 lessons for first grade. I'm just going to briefly just show you Forense's Light. This is one of our lessons that was added last year. So when you click on each one, it'll give you sort of a lesson summary. So in this case, Forense is a firefly who's embarrassed by her light and attempts to cover her beautiful glow. Through personal growth and the help of her friends, she learns that her light is a wonderful trait that makes her very special. Students will investigate how light passes through various materials and will collaborate, plan, and create light filtering outfits for Forense. So again, you can see the standards that it aligns to, and all of these are linked to an audiobook. So you don't have to actually have the book in order to do the lesson. And then it just, I wanted to share too, just an older lesson. So this is the Quangle Wangle's hat. So this is a 6th grade lesson. And when you click on that one, it'll tell you that the Quangle Wangle lives in the crumpety tree and wears an enormous hat. But he's not truly happy until his creature friends come to build homes on his hat. The challenge is using the dimensions given in the poem. Students will design and build a scale model of the Quangle Wangle's hat, ensuring there is enough surface area for homes for his friends. So this ties to a nice math standard as well, and ends with kind of a fashion show in your class, which is kind of exciting. All right, and coming back to our slides, I'll just share that we're going to be offering 5 info sessions on Zoom during the month of October in preparation for STEM Week. The times are all listed there. The trainings are 90 minutes. They are highly interactive. Educators will be introduced to the engineering design process. They will try out a lesson with colleagues. And if they are willing and able to try it with students, and complete a survey afterwards, we can also offer a $35 gift card, which is really exciting. So that's available for you. And my last thing you can use the QR code or go to our I Am STEM Lesson website to access all of the trainings. And we hope you will solve problems with your students and empower them to become proud problem solvers.
Thank you so much. That seems so much fun to access all year round. I haven't taken the opportunity myself to explore that website in depth yet, but now I look forward to. I would like to.
Yeah, there's a lot of different types of lessons, so I hope everyone enjoys.
Absolutely. Museum of Science, if you'd like to start sharing your screen now.
Started talking and I didn't unmute myself. It's fine. Good morning, everybody. My name is Mallory Schmidt. I am with the Museum of Science and specifically our pre-K-12 education division. And we are excited to host another Math STEM Week challenge. I'm going to go through, I did not make nearly as many slides as everybody else, but I'm just going to talk you through a little bit about what we have for you this year. So our STEM Week challenge this year is a 1-hour lesson that's designed to be completed with elementary students. So this is, let's say, grades 1 through 5. I think there's always options to kind of scale it down or scale it up if needed to, but this one was specifically written for elementary or with elementary in mind. And then there is an optional Kahoot quiz that we've built to go with it. But our project this year is engineering plastic filters. It's actually a modification and kind of a rebuilt of one of our new YES units that just came out in January. So it's kind of a more simplified version of that. In this, kids are going to work in teams to use the engineering design process to design a plastic filter that will reduce the amount of plastic waste that enters into a model bay. And the goal of the filter design is to capture plastic floating in the water. And so all of the materials you can see in that picture there, it's like cut up pieces of straws. Really try and use, like we said before, craft materials, things that are probably already in the classroom as much as possible. I wanted to show you guys a little bit of our lesson outline. And so prep for this is a little long, about 35 minutes, but then the unit itself is only an hour. We're introducing engineering. We're going to read and discuss The Problem with Plastics, which is a comic meant to kind of give students some context around what they're going to be doing. Exactly what happens in the story is exactly what they're going to be doing with students. And so they get to kind of read through what happens and add some literacy in there. They're going to get to create and test their plastic filter, do a wrap up, reflect on their engineering experience, kind of show off what they've done with the rest of the class. And then, like we said, there's this optional Kahoot quiz on the impacts of plastic pollution that we're offering with it, as well as tons and tons and tons of other Kahoots that we have built. The plastic filters unit is going to be available on our website, which is yes.mos.org. It's not currently up there just yet. We're doing our last kind of checks and all of that. But because we are offering a webinar next week, it will be up on the website by next week. And so we are doing a 1-hour webinar with me to just kind of help teachers learn a little bit about the challenge, ask questions, get to see it. We're offering with this, there's a slide deck, there are student pages, there's a printable version of the comic, but the comic is also available on the slide deck as well. So tried to make it as easy as possible to kind of pick up and do if teachers don't have a ton of time to do something that lasts the whole week, but they just still want to participate in STEM week and have a little something to do with their students.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And I know I have the registration page linked on the website as well. So hopefully anybody who's interested in participating can quickly register and be able to attend that on September 19th.
Yeah, and I will say, I know we asked about registration before, but it will go probably until the day of because it's a webinar. And if you sign up, usually we'll send the link. So if you sign up and you're not able to be there that day at 4 o'clock, we know it's sometimes people can come at 4, sometimes it's a really hard time. The webinar will be sent out as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Arene, would you like to share your screen or would you like me to share?
Let me unmute. I can share my screen. It's perfectly fine. So, good morning, everyone. While I'm sharing, here we go. And I can go, let's see, right here. Good morning, everyone. Again, Irene Porro. I'm here not to talk about the initiatives promoted by the McCullough Center for this Massachusetts STEM Week, though you can go to our website and find them there. I'm going to focus on 2 initiatives that we are promoting as MetroWest STEM Network. Honestly, the first one that you're going to see here on the screen is in collaboration with the Central STEM network. So we really want to highlight this also as a way for us as regional STEM networks to collaborate, to offer even a better event, if possible, to our audiences. This specific event is going to be on October 23rd, a Wednesday, and is really to, first of all, target high school and college students. We know that Massachusetts STEM Week, it really spans all age levels. And because we are focusing with this event on the development of a workforce, in this case, a green workforce, we're really aiming at recruiting participants from both high schools and colleges. The event is really it's not really a job fair. I wouldn't want people to think that students need to come with a resume. That's not the case. It's a walk-in experience where they can explore at various tables hosted by a wide range of green employers. students and youth and educators as well will have opportunity to really learn about all these emerging jobs in a green sector. We know that it's a sector that is exploding here in our state, but there is a strong need for a new workforce to fill in a wide range of jobs that are becoming available in sustainability, green energy, and you name it. So it's really an opportunity to explore, share skills and interests that the youth have and see how they match the needs that the various employers have, and then network. You know, we hear from employers in all sectors, but certainly in a green sector where we say, oh, students should just start networking. Well, it's easy to say, but how can particularly high schoolers, but also many of our college students are not experiencing this practice on networking. So we want to create a friendly environment that they can come in. We will help students, we'll provide them with prompts that if they choose, they can use when they interact with employers at the various tables. Again, there is much more we can share with you, but I would like to encourage any of you who is associated with a school, if you think that there is an interest in doing this event, please come and join us. RSVP is not required if you come as an individual, but if you come as a group, we would appreciate that. Because of it, we can give you more information where to park, maybe the van, the bus, and whatever else you may need. But in doubt, just show up. October 23rd, anytime between 3:30 and 6 p.m. The other event that the MetroWest STEM Education Network is offering in the context of STEM Week is part of a series of conversations we have been having on the concept of aligning the education efforts at our K-12 schools with the needs of the workforce development in STEM in general. The event we are hosting on October 24th at 8:30 a.m. is actually organized in collaboration with Mass Bio Ed, which leads us to, of course, to see that we are going to focus in this case on the workforce needs in the life sciences and biotech sectors. We know that this is, again, it's a sector that is developing very quickly, both specifically in the Boston area, but there is a huge explosion, I would like to use that word, of life sciences opportunities in the MetroWest and Worcester area. And yet our schools affairs explain to us that, you know, we're trying to figure out how they can best prepare their students. So this again will be an event co-facilitated by John Brothers from Mass Bioed, who is really a person with a lot of experience in general in the workforce development strategies. But we are preparing, there will be speakers from various sectors, so various companies in the area, but it's really going to be a workshop style. The target audience for this, given the time, is really administrators, teachers who can take the time off from a classroom, mostly really administrators, in this case, K-12, at any level you think you are in that sector, but also in that college level. Really, we want to reflect and work together on how to develop strategies that support the whole pathway of students towards this kind of professions. And that, I would stop there. I can talk more, but I know more information again on our website. I'm sure that probably Justine is being also sharing the website. And if not, Justine, would you mind?
Absolutely. I think we're getting the links for the MetroWest STEM Education Network's opportunities right now. And I'll also include all of the links shared from the chat during this meeting in the follow-up email to all registered participants. About half of registered participants attended live today, which means a total of like 70+ people will be getting all of these resources, even if they could not attend live today. You'll get the recording of the session, all presenters' slides, important links and deadlines, so that you have everything in one location that you need to get involved with this year's STEM week.
And Susanna, I think I see a question in the chat. Both events I presented, the one on the green workforce and the one on the STEM, on the life sciences workforce, are in person. It has been really a requirement, not a request, sorry, not a requirement, a request that people had made to have these events in person. We'll figure out to, now let me rephrase it. So people register, we will provide some materials to work with. I don't promise a recording of events though, because that's really tricky, but the materials that we are using for the discussions will be shared anyway.
Are there any questions for any of our presenters? I think we do have the time. So if anybody has any questions they would like to put in the chat, or again, to ask verbally, feel welcome to do that now. The last thing that I will do is I'll share how you can share your STEM Week opportunities with the MetroWest STEM Education Network through our event form. But like I mentioned, if anybody has any questions, go for it. So I think this could be a good segue. The link in the chat is to our event calendar, which there are also 2 different ways of seeing all that MetroWest STEM Education Network has going on. So the first of which is not necessarily STEM Week based, but it's our community activities page. This is kept up to date, again, with all of the information sessions and things going on by us and our partners in MetroWest. But also, if you're looking for specific STEM Week opportunities, we're going to click on Initiatives, then STEM Week. That takes us first to the landing page. When you click Events and Activities, these are all of the Massachusetts STEM Week specific opportunities happening for the MetroWest region. So we've got the McAuliffe Center's Community Stargazing event, New England SciTech's Observation Nights, the Massachusetts Teacher STEM Fair. We have some opportunities from Mass Bay. We've got the Green Workforce event that Irene shared, as well as the Life Sciences event that Irene shared right there. McAuliffe Center's hosting a free public planetarium, and then even private events, because I want to make sure that they get the proper recognition. So if you do have your own opportunity that you'd like to share with us, you can click on that button at the top of the page and it'll bring you to our Google form. It asks you information about the event and your contact information, just so that we can properly report it on our website, social media accounts, and the statewide calendar. Basically, the process is you share it to the form, I collect it, and then I post it to all of those places. Now, if you're not a part of the MetroWest region, make sure you go to your regional STEM networks page or get in contact with them for reporting. But worst case scenario, if you do report it to us, I'm sure we can forward it to the correct contact and make sure that it lands on the correct calendar. I mean, I've been reporting things that aren't necessarily MetroWest specific, but it's all in the interest of making sure the most amount of people have access to these opportunities. So that is definitely, that's not a bad thing if you're just going to submit it to us.
And Suzanne, of course, then there is a statewide calendar, right? That where we probably is the least friendly. But you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so I believe I shared it a little bit earlier, but I'll pull it up again. So basically, I'll access it this time from our landing page. The statewide calendar site lists all of the different regional STEM networks, and when you click on them, it'll jump you right to their calendar. So actually, let's jump to Southeast this time, because I know that they have opportunities posted in October. So these are all of the STEM Week opportunities, for instance, that you can get involved with in the Southeast region. I know the MassQ conference we've highlighted in the past as well. So that's another good kickoff to STEM Week. This is a Google form. So basically what happens is we'll take your event and we add it to the Google form, and then the Google form is populated, or the Google Calendar is populated onto this calendar view.
Very important. In order to be posted on this calendar, any group that is proposing an activity must go through their regional STEM network. Individuals on their own cannot post on that calendar. So it's very important that you share your information with your regional network.